Once again, I welcome to my channel RM Classroom. So yesterday I have uploaded the question related to the geotechnical engineering. A concrete gravity retaining wall 5-meter height in which top width is 1 meter and bottom width is 3 meter. Retains granular soil having a friction angle of 35 degree and dry and saturated unit weight of 16 kN per meter cube and 20 kN per meter cube. The unit weight of concrete and water is 24 kN per meter cube and 10 kN per meter cube respectively. The friction factor at the base of the wall against lateral sliding is 0.47. The factor of safety against lateral sliding is dash if the position of water table from the horizontal ground surface is 2 meter. And your options are 3.59, 1.92, 1.56 and 1.23. So it is the case of concrete gravity retaining wall. So gravity retaining wall, firstly I have to draw the gravity retaining wall. Let us assume this is the gravity retaining wall, whose top width is 1 meter and bottom width is 3 meter, and height of the wall is 5 meter, and the position of water table is, this is the position of water table and this is the ground surface. This is 2 meter, so this will be 3 meter, and the angle of internal friction phi is given 35 degree. So phi is 35 degrees. So Ka can be computed. Coefficient of active earth pressure, that is 1 minus sine phi divided by 1 plus sine phi. So it will be 1 minus sine 35 divided by 1 plus sine 35. So this value will be 1 minus sine 35 divided by 1 plus sine 35. So it is coming 0.27. 0.27. So if I draw the pressure diagram, so in layer, let us assume this is layer 1 and this is layer 2. So it will be, pressure diagram is due to the dry soil. So this value will be K into gamma D into Z1. Let us assume this is Z1 and this is Z2. Similarly in the second layer, so second layer, due to the presence of water table in the second layer, so this will be K into gamma submerged into Z2 plus due to the hydrostatic pressure, that is gamma W into Z2 plus surcharge loading, we can write K into Q. So the value can be computed as K into gamma D into Z1. So what is the value of gamma D? So gamma D is, dry unit weight is 16 kilonewton per meter cube. Gamma D is 16 kilonewton per meter cube and saturated unit weight is 20 kilonewton per meter cube. 20 kilonewton per meter cube. Similarly, the unit weight of concrete is 24 kilonewton per meter cube and unit weight of water is 10 kilonewton per meter cube. So if I compute the value of K into gamma D into Z1, so this value is 0.27 into gamma D is 16 into 2. So it will be 0.27 into 32. So this value is 0.27 into 32. 8.64 kilonewton per meter square. So this value is 8.64 kilonewton for this value. This value is, let us assume this is pressure diagram 1, 2, 3 and 4. Similarly, for the K gamma submerged into Z2 can be computed as K into gamma submerged into Z2, that is equal to 0.27. Gamma submerged is 20 minus 10. So it is 10 into 3. So this value is 30 into 0.27. So this value is 8.1 kilonewton per meter square. So this value is 8.1 kilonewton per meter square. Similarly, gamma W into Z2, that is 10 into 3. So similarly, the value of K into Q can be computed as, so what is the value of surcharge? So surcharge loading is gamma D, that is 16 into 2, that is the surcharge loading. So K into Q can be computed as K into Q, that is 0.27, and the value of surcharge is 2 into 16. So this value 0.27 into 32. So this value is 8.64 kilonewton per meter square. So this value is 8.64 kilonewton per meter square. So now the pressure total active thrust, that is PA1, PA2, PA3 and PA4 can be computed. So total active thrust PA can be computed as PA1 plus PA2 plus PA3 plus PA4. So PA1 can be computed as 1 by 2 into 8.64 into 2. So it will be 8.64 kilonewton per meter length of the wall, because total thrust for the first active earth pressure diagram, that is the total active thrust in the area of this pressure diagram. So it will be 8.64 kilonewton per meter length of the wall. Similarly, PA2 is, what is PA2? So active earth pressure, total area of this active earth pressure diagram. So area of this active earth pressure diagram can be computed as 1 by 2 into 8.1 into 3. So it will be 8.1 into 1.5. So this value is 12.15 kilonewton per meter length of the wall. Similarly, total active thrust for the third active earth pressure diagram, that is area of this diagram. So 1 by 2 into 30 into 3. So it will be 45 kilonewton per meter length of the wall. So total active thrust for the fourth pressure diagram can be computed as PA4. So PA4 can be computed as area of this pressure diagram. So K into Q into H. So it will be 8.64 into 3. 8.64 into 3. So it will be 8.64 into 3. So this value is 25.92. 25.92 kilonewton per meter length. So total active thrust, that is equal to 8.64 plus 12.15 plus 45 plus 25.9. So this value is, total thrust is 8.64 plus 12.15 plus 45 plus 25.92. So total active thrust is 91.71 kilonewton per meter length of the wall. We have to find the factor of safety against sliding. So what is the factor of safety against sliding? So now factor of safety can be computed against sliding. So factor of safety against sliding, that is equal to mu into W divided by destabilizing force, that is Here we can see that destabilizing force is total active thrust, and resisting force will be the weight of its gravity retaining wall. So let us say it is W1 and this is W2. So W1 can be computed as area of this triangle into unit weight of the concrete, and similarly W2 can also be computed. So total weight of the total self weight of the gravity retaining wall, that is W is equal to, can be written as W1 plus W2. So W1 can be written as, so the total W is 1 by 2 into top width is 1 meter, so this is also 1 meter, so this is 2 meters, so 1 by 2 into 2 into 5 into unit weight of concrete, so 1 by 2 into 2 into 5 into 24 plus 1 into 5 into 24, so it will be 240 kilonewton is the total weight. So factor of safety can be computed against sliding. So factor of safety against sliding is mu into W divided by PA. Coefficient of friction is given, that is the friction factor at the base of the wall against lateral sliding is 0.47. So 0.47 into 240 divided by total active thrust is 91.7. So it is 91.7. The factor of safety against sliding is 0.47 into 240 divided by 91.7. So this value is 1.23. So if I see the option, so D option is correct. Factor of safety against sliding for this question is 1.23.